going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back. It's the Pro League. It's Benson. It's Mr. X. Matt, how you doing today, mi amigo? You having a good day?
Good. Yeah, not a bad day. No,
Yeah?
I had some coffee today. Coffee always makes the day good. I watched you and Puckett talk about OpTic Nation. We kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, we mentioned it yesterday, actually, which was extremely ironic. Didn't think it was going to happen so quick, though. Of course, OpTic Nation are going to be playing this evening. They played yesterday with Sin, the substitute. They didn't play with Bose. They went 1-1. Today, they go up against Denial eSports, and they go up against FaZe. So, pretty tough day. How do you see that day going, Matt?
I mean, well, Sin's not a sub anymore, right? He's going to be playing with them, I guess, for... They never really said, right? I mean...
Yeah, they said Season 1. But, I mean, they could, you know...
But, I mean, things can always happen. I mean,
of course,
if another team starts to flounder in Season 1,
who knows?
It could always possibly happen. You know, I think it's going to be better than when it was with Bose. Don't know if they're going to win.
Right.
Don't know if they're going to win, but I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be better. They looked better yesterday.
They looked a lot better yesterday, of course. Yeah. 1-1. But if they were to go 0-2 today, I feel that's going to be a bit of a mood dampener. But they are going up against Denial and against FaZe. So some pretty tough games. Yeah. We're actually going to be featuring 2 games this evening, as always. We're going to be jumping in Denial versus OpTic Nation. Later on in the day, we're going to OpTic Gaming versus Team Caliber. But as per usual, we're going to give you live updates on what is going on elsewhere in the COD League. So expect us to jump into different games, of course. For any of you that haven't seen, Ron, if you have that graphic, throw it up, the schedule graphic, at 7 p.m., which is... what?
Like now?
Like 9 minutes ago. Like 9 minutes ago. OpTic Gaming played Rise Nation. FaZe versus Aware. That is no longer our key match of the day, so ignore that one, but we will be checking tabs on that. Team Caliber versus Automatic Reload. That's kind of a big game for the bottom of the leaderboard, to be honest with you. Both those two teams really struggling. Denial versus OpTic Nation. Then, of course, at 8:30 p.m., OpTic Nation versus TK. We'll be featuring that. Denial versus Aware, another really big game. And Automatic Reload versus Rise. Again, a huge game for the bottom of the leaderboards. OpTic Nation versus FaZe, the last one. But AR really have a chance, I feel, today of stretching out and kind of pushing away from that sort of danger area. Yeah,
you don't want to be near that danger area. I mean, Rise Nation and TK are kind of, and OpTic Nation are pretty much all in the danger area. If you're AR, I mean, just keep splitting these games. Just try and go 1-1, maybe 2-0.
Yeah, if you, I feel like today is definitely a day where they can go 2-0. TK and Rise. I mean, these are the two teams at the bottom of the leaderboard. Of course, both of them are going to be trying to change things around because they've had a pretty awful start. Let's be honest. I mean, TK, I believe they won their first game of the league and haven't been able to win one since then, and really have been struggling a lot. Now, I don't really know what to put it down to with the TK team. I like to think it's online, especially after such a solid performance at Columbus. Have you seen anything which would suggest otherwise, Matt?
No, not really. They've always struggled a bit online. And you know, I saw Goon. He was stuck in an airport last night. I don't know if he's actually gonna. Is he gonna be here?
He was stuck in an airport last night.
Yeah, I saw that right before I went to sleep. Hold on, I'm bringing up his Twitter.
Okay, that's interesting. Check his Twitter. See what Goon's been tweeting, or if he hasn't been tweeting. If he hasn't been tweeting, he's definitely stuck somewhere.
No, he's back. He's back.
Okay, of course it's Sharp's birthday today, so he may be a little bit jolly. Just turned 21.
21.
Happy birthday, Sharp. Hope you have a fantastic day.
0-2 for TK.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, he's going to be having a couple of beverages.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't go 0-2 though, because obviously such a good bunch of guys. Still waiting for our invite into Denial versus OpTic Nation. Our producer Ron, he's going to be doing his thing on the interwebs.
Charge of that.
Yeah, he's going to be doing his thing on the interwebs. Meanwhile, though, OpTic Gaming versus Rise. That game is actually just about to begin, so we'll jump over to my screen. Wait for it. Is he going to spawn in?
Hopefully he does.
He did. So we'll jump over to my screen. Going to be looking at Scump's perspective for now. OpTic Gaming going toe-to-toe with Rise. Matt, this should be a pretty simple game for these guys.
Yeah, it should be a bloodbath. Rise hasn't looked good. Gaming's been pretty much on fire the last 3-4 days.
Yep.
I mean, they've looked very tough to beat. I mean, they looked tough to beat before, but now things seem to be clicking for them. not a good matchup for Rise today.
Really isn't a good matchup at all. It's, you know, bottom of the team. You don't want to be going up against one of the teams who's fighting for that top spot. Of course, FaZe still #1, but OpTic Gaming definitely knocking on that door. Got to the grand final of the 2K, finished second. Grand final of the 5K, won that bad boy, and then went 2-0 yesterday. So
yeah,
pretty successful past 3 days, I would say.
Absolutely. You even go and look at the Pro Point leaderboard. I mean, they have 176,000. FaZe has 156, and then I think the next highest team is Prof, actually, at third, and they only have like 97,000.
So really not that many. You compare that to first and second. A little bit of a drop there, not gonna lie.
Those two teams, FaZe and OpTic Gaming, are good for a while.
Yeah, they should be pretty Gucci. Let's just put it that way. Of course, once you do get to that 3rd point mark, though, I believe like 3rd till 6th are within 10,000 pro points, so it's very, very close. Close and compact. OpTic going to be playing hardpoint retreat to kick things off, and pretty equal start, actually. 28 to 32, as I think I can actually hear ourselves. I don't think I actually muted our stream, so Ron, can you just throw it back to me real quick? Throw it to me real quick, just so I can check. I'm a...
Mute it.
I think I noobed it, ladies and gentlemen. I did in fact noob it, ladies and gentlemen.
I have to make my predictions for tonight. How did I do yesterday?
You went 5 and 8, I think. So me and Puckett caught up by 1 yesterday. You still have a 2
ahead overall.
So yeah, actually, this would be a good time. Hit me with your predictions right now, Matt. So Rise versus OpTic Gaming. Who'd you go?
OpTic Gaming.
Aware versus FaZe.
Give me FaZe, even though they're playing with Huke instead of Slasher tonight.
See, you always have the intel, man. Like, when I changed my prediction last night for OpTic Nation to win their first match, Puckett wouldn't allow it, even though...
You shouldn't have. That shouldn't have been allowed.
Why? You came in, you were like, oh, by the way, they're not playing with bows. Research, oh my lord. Team Caliber versus AR.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to win, right? Give me AR, why not?
Wow, look at you getting all crazy.
Yeah, I'm gambling today.
OpTic Nation versus Denial.
Denial.
Denial, okie dokie. Gaming versus TK.
Gaming.
Denial versus Aware. Oh, Matt's stumped.
His Aware didn't look good at all yesterday.
Nope, they did not. But can you see them going 0-2 again? That's the question.
Give me Denial.
You're going Denial.
Aware with another 0-2 day.
All right, AR versus Rise.
Oh man, another one where somebody must win.
Yeah.
Give me AR going 2-0 on the day.
Woo! Go AR! And then FaZe versus Nation to end the day.
FaZe.
FaZe. Okay, so FaZe with 3 games. I like it. Like it a lot. So, bit of differing predictions there from all of us. Not gonna lie. We'll see how that pans out. By the end of the day, you could potentially be building a bit of a lead. I said some stuff and then immediately regretted it, but Puckett wouldn't let me change it.
What'd you do?
I said Rise are going to be AR, which just isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
If it does, I got very, very fluky, but I really don't think it will. Meanwhile,
has Rise won the Justice Award for Season 1 of Advanced Warfare.
Wow. You're just coming out for haymakers, right?
I know.
Matt's not wasting any time with these haymakers.
Is it too soon?
A little bit too soon, man. Not gonna lie, a little bit. My invite just came through actually for the OpTic Nation game. Let me get you in here as well.
We didn't crown Justice until they were like 200.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Let's just put it that way. For now, though, OpTic Gaming 90 to 84. So surprisingly, Rise putting up a little bit more of a fight than I thought they would.
Yeah, a little bit more of a fight than I thought they would too. I think you're right.
Very close game.
Yeah, it's actually, I know Rise looks like they're going to hold this top hill. They're going to be able to get the time here. Ooh, I got a message of the day with all these new camos. Did you buy any of these, Ben?
Did I buy? No, I did not buy any of these new camos. I saw one which had a panda. I got excited, then realized...
There's a panda, and then there's a flag for your country. You should buy both of those. And then you can
I realized the panda was not red, it was white, and I felt, quite frankly, betrayed. I started to draft an email to Activision and let them know that I feel it should be a red panda, not a white panda.
Sorry to burst your bubble. Pandas are white. They're not usually red.
But that's what makes red pandas so unique and special. I will be requesting my own individual red camo or red panda camo. So
I would like to know how that works for you.
Probably not going to work well.
Probably not. No, it's probably not, to be honest. But I'm sure they'll love to hear from you.
Yeah, they probably won't.
All right, let me ask you something.
Yes.
By the end of season 1, will Sin be on OpTic Nation?
No.
That's how I feel too.
That was very anticlimactic.
I was hoping you'd disagree.
No, that would be craziness. Myself and Puck actually spitballed some of our 5 plays that we could potentially see on OpTic Nation. Puckett went completely crazy. He said he sees attach, Looney, enable, Zoomer, or slacked. So yeah, that kind of sums up our day. I went with Swanee, Clay, Aches, Enable, and Dido as my.
Aches will never be on OpTic.
Yeah, that was the one thing, but I think if he was, it'd be a really good squad.
Well, and I don't even know if it's from the standpoint of OpTic anymore. I just don't think he would want to be on OpTic Gaming. He doesn't want. He would never do that.
Give me your top 5 then.
It's a personal decision. Swanee.
Yep.
Swan definitely high up there. I think Enable.
Yep.
He'll definitely be considered.
Okay.
I think Slack will probably be a consideration.
You reckon? Okay.
Yeah.
Slack isn't going to be 18 for COD Champs, though, is he?
No, I think he is.
Is he?
Yeah, Justice probably wouldn't be playing with him if he was.
Touche.
Let me think. I'm gonna throw out like 2 kind of like not really curveball ones, but like
we talked about potential slasher, sender,
Merc.
Yep, I said that as well, but people were like, "Oh, you're crazy."
Well, I'm not too crazy. I almost told you this was gonna happen yesterday. Let's see. If I had to say another name, Miracles.
Miracles. I can't see Miracles splitting up with Kill though. Can you?
Totally could.
You could?
Go back to play with Karma. Go back to OpTic. I don't think Miracles was the last one to kind of leave that.
Valid point. Chat, let us know who you think potentially could fit in with that OpTic Nation roster. Of course, on the right-hand side, our featured game of the evening getting started. We're going to be Denal and OpTic Nation, so we figured we may as well show you some of the Nation games as they made their official announcement today. And on the left-hand side, OpTic Gaming actually struggling against Rise, it seems. 156 to 172. We're going to stay dual screen because that game almost at an end. And to us, I'm extremely curious to figure out how that one does end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have it open on my screen too. Ben, something we need to add for our predictions.
Yes.
I thought of a great idea.
Hit me.
Every day we have to pick one game that you guarantee is right. You get 10 points if you get it right. You lose 10 points if you get it wrong. You can only pick, if I pick Nation in this match, you can't pick them for the rest of the week.
Ooh.
Until you're out of teams,
See,
then you pick again.
I love that idea, but I know Puckett can be a little bit of a girl about those kind of things. He's like, oh, no, anything that takes away from just winning 1 point a day is silly. I disagree. But I'm down.
Yeah, or maybe one team a week that you got to pick their record for the whole week.
I like it. I like it. We'll definitely we'll do that. That's a good idea, Matt. Thinking outside the box. I like it. OpTic Gaming on the left-hand side, just as we were saying, looked like they were struggling. Have managed to take the lead, 193 to 181. 50 seconds left in that game. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, you've got TP and OpTic Nation on the hill. TP 4-1, and OpTic Nation kicking off quite nicely. TP, as I said, 4-1. You got Proof 6-2, currently on a 6 streak. Karma 6-2 as well. He's on a 3 streak, and that kill feed, all OpTic Nation right now.
Yeah, and you notice the new guy, Sin, 6-3 as well. You know, this team yesterday they went 1-1, but they just looked a whole lot better. You know, just in game, they just looked a whole lot more comfortable. And I think it's because, you know, let's kind of clarifies the roles a little bit more. You know, Teep can go back to being that main OBJ player.
Right.
You know, Sin can help him with that, and Proof and Karma can just really start to slay. I think it just opens up everything for them. You see, you know, Karma starting off 10-3. I know Replay is struggling a little bit at 1-9, but they're just great plays out of OpTic Nation. This is what you kind of wanted to see from them after you make a move like that today.
Yep. OpTic Gaming win their first game, 209 to, I think that was like 198. So pretty close game, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
they managed to come out on top. So back to the right-hand side, Zuma's going to be on that hard point for Denial. 60 to 26 point differential. And on the left, we bring up the FaZe game. FaZe currently going toe-to-toe with Aware, so that's a pretty important game. You see both these two games kind of at familiar or similar points, I should say. But we'll go full screen now with Denial versus OpTic Nation, and we'll check back in with FaZe in a little bit and see how that one closes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see Sin getting the hill, getting a two-piece right there. I think whenever you make a roster change, Ben, you always get you just get a little better because it's like a new factor. You know what I mean? Everyone's excited to play with the new player. No, he kills one guy. Oh man, this is so much better. Everyone's a lot happy. But no, it's when that newness wears off. That's kind of where you'll see if it actually works. But I mean, right now you can just see OpTic Nation. They're just slaying a lot easier. Yeah,
they're looking a lot more comfortable, and I feel that that's key as well. You want to be feeling comfortable as a team more than anything else. And we were listening to some of their games from yesterday, actually, earlier on ESR, and they were laughing, giggling. Like, Proofy sounded like a little schoolgirl. It was kind of amusing, to be honest with you, but I don't know. It seemed like a different OpTic Nation than we've seen previously. As well, just to update people, the TK game has officially started. Plus, TK going up against AR. That's a big, big game. And honestly, we were thinking of broadcasting that one out as one of our featured games, but there was just so many other good games to choose from. And if you're wondering why that's a big game, two teams pretty much at the bottom of the leaderboard, desperately fighting for a win. But, Rise, as we mentioned, a team who have started pretty badly. I'll be honest, 0-6, not how they would have hoped that their season would have begun.
I love the way you put that.
I mean, you gotta be polite.
Pretty bad. I mean, they have won.
Yeah, I mean, try to be polite. And speaking of polite, Attach actually 5-15 right now, so he's definitely struggling in this game. Nation, all double-digit kills, so if Attach can pick things up, he may actually be able to bring his team back into this, because they aren't actually too far behind right now.
Yeah, they aren't actually too far behind it. I think if you can keep it close going into the second rotations of hills, Attach isn't going to play like that again. You got to think Attach is going to kind of put it together and turn it on a little bit. And if he does, Ben, I definitely see Denial taking this first map.
Well, 8-16, really struggling as he actually falls outside the front room. But Denial has somehow taken the lead, and Nation needs to try and challenge. There's still 20 seconds left, so plenty of time. Proofy is going to win those gunfights, so nice play coming in from him. He's going to actually push straight out, but may need to drop back as Karma falls on that hill. Proofy immediately does so. Picks up another kill for him. TP falls, though. Replays breaking that hill by himself. Good play coming in from Denial as Replays picks up 3 in that kill feed. Looking for the 4th. Player is going to be there as TP, but not able to win that gunfight.
Yeah, and just a reminder, I mean, Replays, he has started out pretty awful. He was 1-9, so
that's true.
Nice comeback from him as well in this series, in this map. But no, Attach, if he can turn it on in the second half, then Denial's going to win this. And it's usually a problem you see with new teams, right? Nation did a great job slaying. That OBJ stuff, it takes teamwork, though. It takes, decision making, who's going to go where and when, and who's going to lock stuff down, who's going to be that secondary person to get in the hill. It's just a little bit of the kinks you got to figure out, but they really don't have too much time to figure that out. They dug themselves a pretty big hole in this league already.
Yeah, they definitely have. Sin picks up a 3-piece on the hill. Saw a lot of people today saying that they didn't really know much about Sin or whether Sin is a good fit for this team. Currently 20-19. We saw him clutch up yesterday in S&D for OpTic Nation when he played as a substitute. Today, of course, playing as an official player for OpTic Nation. And he's going to clean up that hard point once again, but he's only going to get the scrap time, so 139 to 116. Still Denial with the lead. TP, though, on the hard point for OpTic Nation.
What did you think of Strictly Business dropping Sin?
It was interesting, but I can see if you look at their roster now why they would do that, if that makes sense. I feel like the team SB has right now is very, very dominant. I've said it a couple of times. I feel like if they were playing at Columbus now, if Columbus was this weekend, for example, I would put SB as making it into the league.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But I did think Sin did play extremely well for them.
He did. I was kind of surprised to see Sin go, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I can see it. It's just the way these things go. But
yeah, for the players they've got.
He found himself in a fantastic position. I mean, substitute for OpTic Nation now. Playing for OpTic Nation too. I mean, doesn't really get much better than that.
No, I mean, you definitely get drafted into worse spots than this, you know,
Right.
and being able to play as a starter, you know, with some of the best players in Call of Duty history. I mean, got to just take advantage of that. You know, obviously, if he can come in here and play pretty well, and you know, to the way he played at Columbus, I mean, he can make a huge name for himself pretty quickly.
See Saints pick up one on the hill, and it's getting a little bit out of control now for OpTic Nation as they're now starting to pull away. You've got Karma and TP on the hard point. Karma picks up one. He's actually pushing off, has to track back a little bit though. Or he doesn't want to leave his team by themselves. But Nation trying to come back, and they're going to need all this time realistically if they're going to have any chance of winning this map.
Yeah, and you notice right there, Karma bumped into another player on the team. I think that was Sin, and you see some of that stuff teamwork-wise. 2 players on the parking garage ramp, both looking at the window, nobody looking the back, and it was broken very fast. That's the type of stuff that you're just going to need to scrim and play a little bit more to get figured out.
Well, just bringing it up on the left-hand side, it looks like that FaZe game spiraling out of control for FaZe, down 198 to 134. That game actually mathematically over with 30 seconds left. So Aware are going to come out and take it to FaZe after an 0-2 day yesterday, trying to take down FaZe, who are 4-0. So they're the only unbeaten team left in the league so far. And that really does surprise me. I'm not going to lie, because after watching Aware yesterday, didn't think they looked that good. It seemed like they've been kind of shaky. The 4 teams they did beat were sort of the lower echelon of teams in the league so far, so not really taking it to any of the higher teams, but going up against FaZe, that is a fantastic start from Aware.
Oh yeah, you know, even though FaZe is playing with Hugh tonight instead of Slasher, Hugh not a bad player in his own right. I mean, playing extremely well with Stunner. Stunner, I know, made finals of the 5K the other day.
Yeah, they've been playing very well, but with that game over, that means both OpTic Gaming and Aware go 1-0 up in the early stages of their games. But last 50 seconds of this, OpTic Nation coming back into it. TP 31 kills, Karma 36, Sin about to get to 13 as well. Proofy about to get a 30. So these guys definitely dropping digits, but now can they break this last half point? 40 seconds left, down by just under 20 points. Now actually over 20 points. I do lie. Replays on that hard point. He's just going to defend, and honestly, can't see Denial throwing this one away.
Yeah, no, I can't see this one being thrown away by Denial. And as we say that, it looks like Karma, he's going to get control of the hill with a 2-piece. So he's just got to hold this down, Ben. You know, they need the rest of this time. That's going to come very close to the wire. Denial can't just keep flooding this doorway. They're not going to break it this way.
Right now, Karma,
yeah.
43 kills. But yeah, this game is over. And Denial doing really well to just hold on to that. But Karma dropping plus 40 kills. That's massive. You see, closer game. Much closer game than previously, but again, Nation not picking up the W, and ultimately it doesn't matter how close the game is, Matt, you've got to pick up the win.
Yeah, you know, they blew that one a little bit when they were over at Garage. If they would have had one player watching the back ramp, and they would have held that spawn, they probably would have held it for another, you know, 10, 15 seconds consistently. That ends up being the difference in the game. So, you know, good first map for Denial. Denial able to get the win. You know, replays really came alive in that one. Zuma playing pretty consistent. You know, they had nobody go positive, but ended up winning that one. So, it usually means you're playing the right way.
Nation actually outslaying Denial there, which is interesting to see, but it's a good sign for them. For now, though, commercial break. When we return, more games from the season.